I mean, I know, please don't shoot messages or whatever, but I mean, I feel like a lot of these books are, the reason people don't like them is because they mention same-sex marriage couples, which part of me thinks like, if you don't mention that, then kids think that there's something wrong with people who have parents like that. And then people might make fun of them. And that's part of the reason that I chose to, choose them, because I feel like it's singling people out. And also, if you don't like that idea, then you could pick the Carroll County version. Mm-hmm. And I don't, personally, you can probably figure out which one I'm going to pick. And I feel as though, I don't know how fair it is that my children are not going to learn anything about that and know that these people are acceptable. Or, like this, if you want to do that, you can do that. I mean, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, but that's just my opinion. But take it or leave it, but that's what I just want to say that, because I feel as though if you make it a point to not include everyone, then people are going to start pointing fingers at people. Like, what if you have a kindergartner who's got 2 moms or 2 dads? And you don't mention them in that book, and now everybody's looking at them because they have 2 moms or 2 dads. That's all it is.
I respect what you're saying, but I think the more you try to include everybody, the more you exclude people. You said something, Mr. Wernick, about the kid who has a parent incarcerated or the kid who's got a parent that's dead. The more you try to include people, the more you're excluding people. So you're not going to hit everybody. That's why I have the problem with it. I don't care. I mean, I want everybody to feel included. I want everybody to feel loved. And I understand there's going to be kids that are scared to go home and don't have meals in them. But I just think the more we try to pinpoint each kid, you're leaving another kid out. And that's why I have a problem with some of these books.
And that's why I like the alternate activity that you have with Making My Own Family, because when they make their own book in the classroom, you can literally get every family in the room.
Yes.
So I really like that.
Yeah.
That is a great idea.
I do just want to reinforce, though, what you were saying, because I think it's probably fair to say that the majority of folks in this room have indicated that they prefer the CCPS curriculum, at least in the past. And so to be making decisions about something that you're not choosing for your family seems a bit strange, right? So I guess for those of us that want this content, it seems like, why is everyone else saying we can't have it? But
well, the reason why I picked the way that I did is because I want all families to be included. It's not just the 2 moms and 2 dads. Like, my son has a stepdad and stepmom and step siblings, and that's not in any books.
It wasn't. Yeah.
So why should one group of people be picked, but not all groups? So you're going to have kids that are going to be like, why isn't my family in this book? And that makes me sad to think about. So I feel like we either include every single one, which there are so many types. Like, my nephew was adopted. There are not a lot of things about that. My niece was in fertilization. Where is that listed in a book? So I feel like if you can't do all of it, then it should be none of it. Because just like, I'm sure the way you feel is that for a long time it was a mom and dad that were always what was shown as a family. And so the kids with 2 moms or 2 dads weren't represented. And that's sad too. And so I feel like if it's not going to be all, it should be none. And that's why I picked the way that I did.
I mean, I think as adults sometimes push our own things down, like kids that we really couldn't care. We start looking through everything through lenses of race and gender, and we start pushing it down on the kids. And half the time, you really talk to the kids, they don't even say it that way. They don't even think about it. But like I say, we push that stuff down through us, try to make them learn behavior.
Well, I think we can come up with another activity. It doesn't have to be based on literature. It doesn't have to be based on a song. We can come up with other ideas. And that's why I'm really excited to meet with my curriculum writers next week. And see what they think too, as they go through things.
I like that too. One of my kids did a similar activity when they were in elementary school. And they had the pets in the picture and the dust balls coming up from underneath my refrigerator. They didn't have the whole family even included, but they did get the dust. So you just never know what they're going to put, but that's what they thought of my house.
Chris, again, getting back to the Charlotte Danielson framework and connecting lessons with kids, I really think the illustrative of what my family's activity is great. It's funny, how many elements are on the periodic table? Anybody ever hear of fermium? It's element number 100. We don't have to take time in a physics class to talk about fermium and every other single element on the periodic table. We talk about the major ones that are in our atmosphere and on our Earth. I don't know why we have to go to such great extent to talk about every single little thing, because in my view, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get kids to talk about controversial topics, and I think that's wrong. We need to stay focused on the major academic requirements and the major things that are in kids' worlds today. And if those things that are appeal to one, and if they're on the lesson, great. But I just think we're trying so hard to be forcing topics, especially those that are controversial, that are probably better off with the parents. So sticking with those activities in class that connect lessons with the kids, I think that's a great approach. Plus, it satisfies the Charlotte Danielson framework of connecting lessons with kids that are in that classroom at that time.